All right. First and foremost, I'd like to go ahead and start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachach, Wadash. All right, man, that's who this world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ in the ancient Paleo Hebrew tongue, right? All right, first off, with Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, once again, whose true name is Yahweh, right? Whose name means He is. Right, then you have who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose true name is Yahweh Shai, right? Whose name means He is our Redeemer, right? First and foremost, I also let it go to give double honors to the elder apostles across the four corners of the earth that's out here pushing and teaching the downfall of this place within truth and sincerity, and of course that 100% truth, right? And we know where that 100% truth lies, right within Great Millstone under Elder Apostle Tahar and on down, right? Also had to give double honors to the elder of the Men of Israel camp, the Ak Kazak, who I also teach under out here in Greenville, South Carolina. Right. I also had to give a shout out to you, Akim. Akim going into brothers. Right. So you Akim across the four corners of the earth. That's also out here pushing and teaching this 100% truth, right, day in and day out, and making our call and election sure to the best of our ability. Man, to all, let us say shalom, shalom, shalom. All right, it's the Akdabat coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai once again with another exhortation and lesson. Right, and this is just going to be a quick one. But I was reading, right now in Colossians, right, just trying to keep sharpening my sword, man, and keep feeding the spirit, you know what I mean? So just going back through reading, and I came across this point that, you know, is not necessarily talked about a lot. But through the spirit, I was able to really was pinpointed, and, you know, through the spirit, I wanted to bring a quick exhortation and lesson, right? And it's going into right here in Colossians 1, right? We're going to start at verse 12, right? It says, giving thanks unto the Father, right? And who did I just, you know, go into who our Father is, who the word ignorantly calls God, right? Whose true name is Yahweh, right? Giving, Yahweh, we need to give thanks to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, man. We need to, you know, Akim out here as we moving along, continuing to walk circumspectly, continue to move, in decency and order, man. You know, we got to give thanks though sometimes, because, and it's going to go into it a little bit of depth, or what I want here. Matter of fact, let me just keep reading. Let me read the full 12, right? Giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints of the saints in light, right? And ultimately, who is this going into? Right, basically saying who are the partakers of the inheritance, the saints in light. Who is that ultimately going into? That's ultimately going into the elect, right? And we are the hopeful elect, right? We are the hopeful elect out here. Salakia. Let me turn that on so I don't hear that. ESPN. There we go. All right. But yeah, man, we are the hopeful elect, man. We are the hopeful. We are striving day in and day out, walking to the best of our ability, walking circumspectly to the best of our ability, walking and being diligent and enduring to the best of our ability, man. So and following the law, statutes, and commandments once again to the best of our ability, right? Truly striving and pushing and teaching this 100% truth, man. So those saints in light is ultimately going into the elect, right? That inheritance is given into. Right, and us being a hopeful elect, man, we got to give thanks. We got to give thanks to Yahweh Shemal Shah, man. We got to give thanks. And why do we need to even give more thanks now than ever, right? Verse 13, it says, who have delivered us from the power of darkness. Let me stop right there. Delivering us from the power of darkness, man. We can still have that veil upon our eyes and be blinded from this truth and still be out here lost and off red 40 and yellow 5, bugging the hell out, you know? That could be us. That could be us. If the shoe was on the other foot, that could be us. So the simple fact that we are not out here in this darkness of this world, we can still be out here celebrating these holidays, celebrating and going into other deities and shit, you know, We could be, that could be us, man. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, we were able to obtain and hold on to this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. We were able to obtain. We heard the name of Yahweh Shema Shah, and it was we heard that safe tower, and we ran to it, you know. So we got to give thanks upon that, man, and that's the point that I wanted to really go into, right? Because it says, "Who have delivered us from the power of darkness," man. As I look out here and on the day-to-day basis in this world, and I see what's going on, and I see how people are acting, and I see how people are moving, I see how these 2/3 are moving, I see how Esau are moving, I see how these heathens moving. I'm looking like, oh, especially the 2/3. I'm looking at them like, oh, they are gone. They are gone, man. They out here talking about this reptilian BS and all this other talking about I seen these videos out here too. You know, I even talking about damn Egypt is in Memphis and all this other extras. Man, these people are bugged out. They have that veil over their eyes to where they're not able to see this truth. But we don't have that veil upon our eyes to where we're able to see and understand. And for example, when Yahweh Shah, according to the book of Matthew, I believe is 24. When Yahweh Shah was going into, when they asked Yahweh Shah, why does he speaking in parables? And he said, because it's not given to everybody, but the ones who understand. We are the hopefully elect are the ones who understand. So we got to give thanks upon that, man, because everybody don't see it. Everybody doesn't understand it. You know, and that's also why we can't take this truth for granted, you know, because the shoe could be on the other foot. One day you can have it and the next day it can be gone. It just depends on your lot, ultimately, you know, but the ones that have it and are truly striving and truly moving accordingly through the spirit are the hopeful elect, man. We're the hopeful elect, we're hopeful. And we have our faith upon that and our faith within that, you know. So we definitely have to still give the ultimate thanks. You know, we have to still remember to do that, you know. Just giving thanks. I'm not necessarily saying it got to be on the video. I'm not saying that at all. You know, I'm just saying, you know, just within your own walk, within your own self, you know, to make sure you giving extra thanks a good bit of times, man. Because we can be the ones bugged out. We can be the ones trapped in the darkness. Right? But verse 13 says, who have delivered us from the power of darkness and have translated us into the kingdom of his dear son. I just read that wrong. No, I didn't. Of his dear son, Khan Salakium. But yeah, who is that going into? That's going into Yahweh Shah. Right? Translated us into the and have translated us into the kingdom of his dear son. Come on, man. Following in Yahweh Shah footsteps. The best way we can possible. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be like Yahweh Shah, but I'm saying we're striving the best way we can to be like Yahweh Shah, you know? Because that's Yahweh's son, Yahweh Shah. You know? And that's who we need to be giving thanks to as well. Yeah, that's why I always say Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, or Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shah, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shah. You know. Let me see what's that's really the point, man, that I really want to get into. Verse 14, and whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. That's right, man. Even the forgiveness of sins, man. And whom we have redemption through his blood, man. Come on. We got to, that's just a quick little hitter that I wanted to, you know, expound upon, man. We got to make sure we're giving thanks, man. We have to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, most definitely. We definitely have to make sure we still giving thanks and still giving the utmost praise, man. You know? But yeah, man, it wasn't I just wanted, as I was reading, you know, about to go back to continue reading, but I just wanted to expound upon that point, you know, through the spirit really fast, you know. So with that, man, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Shalom, shalom, shalom.